Coca-Cola is the best three-point shooting in the league right now. However, they also want to shoot decently from the two-point area. That's going to be a supreme challenge for the Realtors to be able to contain the offense of Coca-Cola.
Here's Menor over to Peak. Watching him is Espino. Peak bungles up his dribble. Cruz tries to spearhead the attack. On him quickly, Escobar. 45 seconds going bias here. Williamson. Here's Gary the Bid. Rizada. Steady at his starting position. Espino kicking it way out. Ito usong pahabaan ng pasa because bumalik yung zone
Yes, saka wala na yung illegal defense rule. It enables you to stay in the shaded area and defend the inside operators. And in that last sequence, yung Santa Lucia, magandang depensa ron sa early offense ng Coca-Cola.
That won't work. I remember when we were still playing exclusively man-to-man, those long passes were very precarious, very dangerous, as Mr. David is a dangerous player, has now made it 5-0.
Exactly. Leading scorer in the league, over 20 points a game. That's averaged over 23 in the first two meetings against Coca-Cola. Right now, Santa Lucia needs to focus its attention in trying to contain the explosion of Mr. Pure Energy, Gary David.
5-0 as you mentioned. In the meantime, there's a quick foul. I see Bong Pascual making this call. Noy Guevara and Noel Kilingen. Why do I keep calling him Boy? I don't know why.
Sounds like.
He looks like a nice guy to call Boy, actually. In the meantime, first foul of the game against Rizada. 5-0, and we're going to have Johnson on the line. Santa Lucia had their own long slump after the trade. They lost 6 games, won against Year 21, and then lost their last 2
Life
as well.
has not been easy for the Realtors since that trade last May 13, and everything has been a challenge for Santa Lucia. Right now, looking for character, looking for a new sense of direction with new players coming in.
Yes, indeed. This is not really a bad team in terms of personnel. It just matters so greatly, the element of chemistry, how long you've been playing together.
And it takes a while. It takes a long process to get players liking to play with each other,
like
to
in
get
this
the
case,
players
yes,
learning to trust the system. And in that last sequence, Bong Escobar showing us that he is also a very good talent playing the point guard position for Santa Lucia.
If this play happened last May 15 or May 17, it would not possibly have happened. Because hindi pa masanay silang umulon at saka si Escobar na magkakampi. Sanay siguro magkalaban. In the meantime, the refs point in the other direction. It will go the way of Santa Lucia.
I really feel that for Santa Lucia to pull out this victory, they have to limit Coca-Cola to about 90 or even below, which is the regular scoring average of the Tigers. On the other side, Coca-Cola wants a highest scoring game, a running game built on getting rebounds and scoring in transition.
Do coaches actually peg a number?
Yes,
okay.
yes. And more often than not, coaches will try to put certain goals for players to be able to accomplish. And just to generalize some things, just win a quarter.
I guess so, because the scoreboard will never lie. 5-all is the count. Santa Lucia with their own version of 5 quick points. We're knotted at 5. Here's Marvin Cruz. He'll dance with Escobar for a while here. Gary the Bid on the outside. Menor trying to keep in step. Favorite spot of Dennis Espino. Nothing there. Johnson, those familiar steps of his. Escobar lobbing it over to Peak. Shot clock rather down to 15. Escobar trying to decide on what to do. Omoloni's his favorite recipient won't make it. It's on the ground, and on the baseline it'll stay with Santa Lucia.
These are not two of the best rebounding teams among the 10 teams that we have right now in our roster. Coca-Cola only 48 rebounds a game. Santa Lucia even lower than that with 46. And possessions are extremely important if you want more chances at the basket.
Rizada with a reach in. Second foul of Rizada. And he is the owner of all the fouls so far of Coca-Cola.
Coach Bo Parasol putting in a smaller player, but a quicker one to keep in step with a very explosive Anthony Johnson, trying to contain, trying to limit the touches of Anthony Johnson from the outside, instead trying to lure Anthony Johnson to play closer to the basket.
And Rizada is going to give up those fouls if he has to. In the meantime, the short stab by Omolon. Alam mo, from the perspective of the player, nakakainis yan. Yung mga malalapit,
Talagang mapapatingin kasi yung mga palad kung talagang madulas o talagang umikot lang yung bola. But Marvin Cruz, with 4 out of the 7 points of Coca-Cola, has played with a lot of confidence given the majority of the minutes by Coach Boy Perasol to man the quarterback position for Coca-Cola.
One of the endless enigmas of a game that has a ball, really. Sa golf, kuminsan gano'n, lapit na, hindi mo pa rin maswak kahit maliit yung bola na yun. In the meantime, Omolon has missed his last 3. And here come the Tigers roaring along. David with a quick snap. Bang!
And that's why it's tough to contain Gary David. He'll hurt you with his slashing moves. Can shoot the 3 very well. And right now, Gary David has 5 points out of Coca-Cola's 9 markers.
And they're trying to engineer a new run. They have hit 4 straight points. Omolon over to Menor. Side jumper does not work, and Marvin Cruz leaps for the board. He has his 4th rebound. The intended pass to the cutter anticipated by the defense. Cruz will reset the table. Ayun pa pala isa itsura natin, pwede pala tayo head waiter, dalawa, Not that you mentioned it. Kasi point guards reset the table.
Mahilig tayo sa ating mga food adventures. Pero itong si Gary David has gone on a driving adventure, getting the benefit of a foul there. 2 players have scored here for Coca-Cola. Marvin Cruz with 4. Gary David with 5. OJ Menor should try to understand that Gary David loves to drive to his left. Therefore, he should try to contain that angle and send Gary David to the opposite side.
Mga drive to the left, drive to the right. It took Magic Johnson a while to learn that. I read that in that book when it was our time when he and Larry Bird would play. Nung una kasi nag-i-enjoy lang siya, hindi niya si Norm Nixon ang nagturo sa kanya. Ito tendency nito, kaliwa o kanan. Gary David with a free throw brought to you by BMX Derby Premium Formula. Dito ka na sa Yamado.
I think it's also important for these young players and even the veterans to be committed to learning the strengths and weaknesses of the players that they'll be playing against with. And sometimes their success or failure will hinge on the fact on how well you recognize the strength of your opponent.
Escobar got a lucky break, shooter's bounce on that 3. And after Coca-Cola roared, excuse me, with 5 straight points, Santa Lucia with a swift reply off the dribble of Escobar. He'll get an opportunity to tie up this ball game as he troops to the line.
He's gotten over 22 minutes per ball game from Coach Boyd Fernandez. Pong Escobar, when he was with the Talk and Text, saw limited action.
Yep.
But we knew for a fact that this young man could play steadily for that point guard's role. And Escobar, under 8 points a game, slowly but surely making his mark here in the PBA. Former San Beda Red Lion.
And there are just some schools that produce the great point guards. Present company included, of course. And, meron certain schools na yun ang strength nila. The point guard position. I don't know why. I can't explain why. But maybe yan siguro madalas pagalitan ng coach.
Pwede.
Natatawa ka. Yung nag-retire, baka naririnig tayo, ha? Coach Ato Badulato. Minsan. Pwede rin. Paborito tayo nun. Dennis, saan pupunta ito? Inikot ni William. Naghanap ng paraan.
That's the presence that Williamson brings to Coca-Cola. Not the best 3-point shooting reinforcement in the league, but definitely can get the job done for Coca-Cola.
Parang kaya ako tinanong sa'yo kanina yun, parang nagbago rin yung type ng import eh. Like, he never brought in a new import the other day.
The bigger one, a taller one.
Taller, mas mahilig siya magpasa, hindi siya nagluluganap ng tira.
Well, and you know why, Seb. We'll go back to that point later on when we come back after this break.
Back here in the Big Dome, you're watching the PBA live on Solar TV. Chicky Ray is here at courtside, and I'll be taking care of the Santa Lucia camp. Now, after going 1-8 in the second round of the classification phase, Coach Boyd and the rest of the Realtors are still very optimistic of their chances here in the wild card. Now, everyone is excited about this game, especially the young guns, because they want to prove that they are still a team capable of competing. In preparing for this game, Santa Lucia viewed the tapes of their games versus Coke and made the necessary adjustments, especially on transition defense. Coach Boyd also told his boys to take care of the ball because Coke is a good team scoring off turnovers. Sev, Coach Ronnie?
Oh, yes, indeed, Chicky. They do love to steal the ball. You were about to make a point before we were nicely interrupted by the timeout.
Well, some teams have started bringing in new reinforcements, and